April 23, 2022. I reported previously on the Ukrainian military sinking the Moskva. Well, guess what? It apparently had 2 missiles on board that may have been nuclear tipped and are now sitting on the bottom of the sea. We don't need Daniel Craig. We need the real James Bond. New York Post and many others have reported on the story. Russia has moved its missiles to the Finland border. Russia has moved its missiles to the Bering Straits border across from Alaska. Russia is moving its subs close to the East Coast as well. Daily Report mentioned that 2 large facilities in Moscow went up in flames like they were coated with a flame accelerant. One was a chemical plant, the other was the Russian Defense Research Institute. Russia pulled back their navy by 200 kilometers from Odessa because they don't want to lose another ship, gcaptain.com reports. But this may create a larger problem. The naval blockade is shutting down farming. They can't get fuel and fertilizer and can't export crops. I saw a CNN article from a year ago saying that Russia was pulling back troops after a massive buildup. Well, I thought then, and I know now, it was just a dress rehearsal for the real thing a year later. They were staging and leaving the equipment behind. Wwiv.org reports that Russia is moving troops into the administrative zone to invade Ukraine. MSN reports that bombing in Mariupol is continuous and that hundreds of civilians, as well as even more troops, are holed up in the Azovstal steelworks plant. CBS reports that Russia is not allowing the evacuation of Mariupol, so everyone still trapped there will die or be tortured and then die. Patabook.com reports that Putin has ordered Chechens to destroy what little remains of Mariupol and police the city. As of April 22, 2022, Ukraine reports 21,200 Russian troops killed and 3,000 Ukrainian troops killed and 10,000 injured, according to Wikipedia. Including civilians, I'm estimating total deaths at 30,000 conservatively between Russians, Ukrainians, and Ukrainian civilians. New York Times reported the endgame is complete Russian control of eastern and southern Ukraine. I think it's going to go farther than that, but that's what New York Times says. There are still 1,000 civilians in the factory, including many women and children. India Today reported that Ukraine finally received some fighter jets from Slovakia. Unfortunately, they say it is too little too late. They needed them 2 months ago. I know the feeling. New York Times reported that Congressman Kevin McCarthy is on tape saying he was going to ask Trump to resign after January 6th. The most insincere congressman we have, sneaky little slithering snake. And Liz Cheney, is in the room where it is being recorded talking to him. Steve Scalise was also in the room. Gee, I wonder who leaked it to the New York Times. I want to see an investigation into whether she was complicit with Nancy Pelosi in keeping the National Guard out of Washington, D.C. and telling the Capitol Police to stand down. Okay, which one is Jezebel and which one is Medusa? Nancy Pelosi and Liz Cheney. I can't decide. Please put your vote in the comments so you know what you have to do, everyone. Primary every rhino Republican like Liz Cheney, Kevin McCarthy, Lindsey Graham, China Mitch McConnell, Mittens Romney, and more. Get them out. They have no business being there. Yahoo News reported that McCarthy also requested that Twitter block accounts of his own caucus. Treasonous rat. I think we need a carpenter here. USA Today reports that McCarthy is scrambling. He better be scrambling to get out of the country, and anyone who wants to support him better jump on that plane too. Time for Jim Jordan to take over as minority leader and then majority after we have one in the fall. This also makes me wonder if Liz or Nancy leaked it to the Times, then what was their motive? Why are they trying to discredit him? Though it's obvious that he did warrant it. Fox News reports that Durham's report shows that CIA attempted a coup against President Trump, and that is treason. That might be an interesting trial. We are still waiting on indictments on the Clintons. We may need some more carpenters. TFI Global reports that Biden has made a secret deal to end Trump-imposed sanctions on China. Nothing like helping your business partners make more money for your business. Netflix loses 200,000 subscribers and dropped from about $350 to about $226 a share this week. That's about a third of its value it lost. You mean people don't want to see woke snowflake movies? Surprise, surprise! Good News Network.org reports that mushrooms have a vocabulary of 50 words, proving that they are more intelligent than a CRT classroom. The Sun shows an airline passenger getting a Darwin Award for throwing a water bottle at Mike Tyson. It did not end well for that passenger. Occasionally, I share bits and pieces that modern-day prophets are talking about. This one kind of hit home. I forget who the guy was, but he talked about a dream of 3 tornadoes. I had the same dream about 7 years ago. I didn't understand what it meant at the time. I still don't, and neither did this guy. I just think it is 3 waves of destruction that comes through. In mine, they were coming through at the same time, the first time I had the dream. I also had another one where I was closer to the tornadoes, and they looked larger because I was looking up at them. There were 3 tornadoes, very large. They were coming at staggered times, but not much time between, like the same storm just coming across one hill and going up another one after the other from different sides of the hill. I'm having a hard time finding a good story here today, and considering what some of the young people have to look forward to in life, I'm going to tell you a story I remember from a long time ago. This is one of my favorites, actually. Henry Ford was running his new wooden car manufacturing plant when he decided to buy a bunch of woods in northern Michigan for the wood for the cars. He had his cousin-in-law, Kingsford, run it. When he inspected what was going on, he saw all the scrap wood and came up with the idea of making charcoal briquettes. Thomas Edison designed the plant and Kingsford ran the facility. The town and the new company were both named Kingsford, and that was the start of another successful business, proving once again that you can turn junk into treasure. Thank you for watching, and have the best day of your life.